we are live. What is going on? Is my Sunday stream today. Um, Not gonna lie, I woke up really late just now. For y'all that don't know, I actually just came back from the chiropractor. It's my first time going to a chiropractor, and it reminds me of the first time I went to something like acupuncture or whatnot. When I just like would sleep for hours and hours and hours, and literally I just chugged a bunch of water. I was feeling the like itis just from the whole session and all that. So yeah, just getting to my computer right now. Haven't done anything today actually. I was actually pretty bad. Today's not the most productive day in my life, but it's all good. We all have those days. Let me take a look at the comments really quick. If you are dropping by, make sure to hit that like button and all that as well. This guy from two streams ago, funny guy. Um, Isaac says coronavirus gang. It's actually, it's really crazy. So I was talking to my mom back in Boston, and she's telling me that there's a lot of different outbreaks there. I live in like the SGV area, so there's a lot. It's pretty much the Asian part in something like LA or whatnot, and um, yeah, it's. I mean, dude, I go to Costco. It's so funny. So I'm going to Costco, right? And I see tons of Chinese people like run out with like toilet paper. They have toilet paper and water. Those are two things that they stock up on. I'm like, what the heck? That's like, I get it. I get it. You want to be prepared. You want to have some. You want to stay stocked up and whatnot. But I mean, that's what reverse osmosis filters are for. And honestly, toilet paper, no perishable items or anything like that, man. And it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but like, it's just interesting to see how people will stock up on those two items, bro. So that's what it's like. Um, Highly recommend some Thai body work. It goes well with chiropractic work. Um, Actually, yeah, you're right. I get Thai. Well, when you say Thai body work, what do you mean, like Thai massage? Currently, like what I'm doing right now, I'm doing a bit of Thai massage once a week. I do some acupuncture once a week. I do yoga about 5 times. I've been doing yoga 5 times a week for the last 3 weeks, and I'm also doing forgetting one more thing, but acupuncture, Thai massage, and yoga. Those are major things. I'm not. I'm in salty, Kevin. I'm not from two streams ago. I'm asking for help to find my iPhone for the last 2 months. Yeah, man. So appreciate you, but yeah. And one thing I'm realizing too, I'm just getting like a lot older, so recovery is not to say not as good, but definitely I've noticed a lot more tightness within like my workouts and all that sort of stuff too. So there's that. Oh, fun fact, I also broke my camera, so there's no more flip out screen as well. So that's been pretty rough. Gotta send that in for repairs and all that as well. But that's pretty much what I've been up to. I was trying to do some more YouTube research about different topics and stuff like that I want to do. Built out this really cool dashboard this week. I totally nerded out on something called Airtable. And if you don't know what Airtable is, it's like a much better version of something like Google Sheets or like like an Excel type of thing. I love it. You can build out really powerful things. Like literally, I built out a content planner for my YouTube channel. I built out a Kanban system. So like, if you're not familiar with Kanban, let me show it to you really quick. Kanban. So if I go into the good old Google's, you'll see this like system of Kanban and all that. So let's take a look. Where is it? There's usually like different stages. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can. There's different stages of like backlog and process. Basically, it's a system where you move things till it's done, right? And so it's really great stuff. Just trying to stay a lot more organized these days. So that's what I'm up to. John, don't know what that is, but all right, time to X that out. So that's been pretty much what. Well, let me switch back to my camera view for a second. There we go. Cool. Also, do I have the book out? I actually been reading this book, High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. It's an all right book. Actually, it's really helped me kind of identify some things in my life that I want to double down on and think about. Um, it's one this, but one thing about this book is really really long. It reminds me like of if anybody's by the way, if you've read this book, drop in the chat really quick. But this book reminds me of like something like Miracle Morning and whatnot, where it's just like it gives you all these hacks, tons of stories. There's a lot of if you're the type that really wants short bullet points, it's not your book. It's almost 400 pages long. I've been reading it almost every like throughout the week. I've been listening to a lot of audio version, and just listening to that book. But really, it's been helping me identify like major things that make me happy. And one thing, one of the exercises was like asking yourself like, what are three words that mean something to you? For him, it's like live, love, and laugh, or some shit like that, like some basic stuff. That's a little too airy fairy for me. I think as I get older, um, I tend to stay away from less like spiritual type of words as well, right? Like for my three are impact, challenge, and connect. So those are really important things. Like, did I connect with someone today? Did I impact someone today? Did I challenge myself or challenge someone else today? And that for me is like a really happy life. That's why I like things like sales, right? For example, when you close a deal, you're making not only impact to that business or your client or even your own business, right? You're making impact there. You're making impact on the client receiving the service, and then you are making an impact financially as well, because it's huge financial impact for me, right? Challenge, right? That's why I like things like jujitsu, right? It hits all three as well, right? I get to connect with so many jujitsu players and people who are into business and into jujitsu. Fun fact: a lot of marketers love jujitsu too. So, yeah. Yo, what's up? Says Alec Quinn. Do you have a YouTube crush, and who is it? Like who I think is really hot or something like that. Who is a hot YouTuber? I don't even know. I used to watch Makeup Gurus back in the day, but I stopped a long time ago, just because like all that sort of stuff gets all that stuff like blows up my feed. Um, I was watching. Speaking about YouTube, I was watching not Bubs. Well, I was watching Bubs the other day, and I found out she got divorced with her husband Tim. But I was also watching what's her name, Whaley Zhang, I think. Can't think. I'm thinking about the MMA person. Hey, who's the YouTuber who speaks Cantonese? Huh? Is it Whaley? Yeah, I was watching Whaley. I was watching her Cantonese vlogs. Just because I've been really neglecting my Cantonese for a long, long, long time, and been watching her a lot. I've been sometimes I'll watch like a Jenny Babis like video too, once in a blue moon. But honestly, I've been trying to reduce my YouTube as well, because you can sit there watching all the time. I usually have YouTube going in the background though, so that's something that like I'll have a podcast or something like that. But those are some of the female creators that I watch as well. So there's a lot of females and stuff like that. Armor Ghost says NHL player too many to name. NHL. I'm kind of curious at NHL. What are some of yours? What are some of the people that you like to watch as well? How do you stay productive toward your goals during days when you feel unmotivated and down in the dumps? Well, that's like me, I guess, right now. Um, I just been kind of like not as productive as normal. For the and it happens in waves, and I think like at the end of the day, what I've been focused on as well is like really taking a step back, thinking about what is the most what are the key things I need to get done, and what are some of the barriers and challenges that you're going through. Like for myself, one of the things that I'm struggling with is like going through the motions of YouTube, doing the SEO, doing all the tags, doing thumbnails and stuff like that, because I've done like so many damn ones, and if you want to do it right, it takes a lot of time. So I was thinking about, okay, how do I reduce resistance toward this? Like, is there some sort of system I can build out? Where exactly in the process am I getting caught up, right? And it was honestly planning out my content and knowing what content's gonna hit and what content's not, right? And just going through that motion. And so uh, once you kind of identify a roadblock or challenge or something like that, you can target it, right? And then just really fix that problem as well. So it's a good chance to, if you feel overwhelmed or something like that, it's a good time to kind of take a step back, just minimize a lot of the unimportant things in your life and just focus on what matters, right? NHL player does not have a crush. Oh man, I want to feel that way every day at Good Vibes. I'm never able to focus in school, but uh, I don't feel like I have ADHD. Might have some sort of slight depression, but I don't know. Um, and here's the thing: like, I don't think school is a good indicator of productivity as well, right? Just because in school you just meet like a bunch of, I mean, being forced to focus on things that don't really light you up, and I feel like in school, a lot of times we're just like cruising it, or just being forced to learn these topics that we don't care about. Like for me, one of those subjects that I really didn't care about was English. Like I had no interest in English at all. I remember my senior year in high school, I was actually in all honors class except for one. And guess what it was? English literature, right? And I didn't care about that. I didn't even like reading back in the day. But when I turned 25 and I was out in the world by myself, and I just read a book that I wanted to read, man, it lights you up. And I think like being productive or finding something that works for you is a combination of four questions. I actually shot a video on this week too. But really, it's four different things, right? Finding something that you love, finding something that you're good at, finding something that the market needs or the world needs, and um, asking yourself whether you can get paid for those services at your current state or point in time. And if you can't, how do you maximize your chances, right? And so you can use this for a job. You can use this for a starting your own business or anything like that. And I think it's a really good indication whether you should double down on something or not. Asking yourself those questions, right? And for me, I don't like overly complicated. As I get older, I don't like overly complicated frameworks, right, or systems. That's something that's really important to me. And by the way, make sure you smash that like button. For those 7 people who haven't done so far, really appreciate the algorithm boost. Um, um, NHL says, I hate fanfics. Do you agree? I have no idea what fanfics are. There's been a rise of controversy with Dan Locke and his programs. As a former mentee, what are your opinions slash viewpoints? I wouldn't call myself a mentee of Dan Locke. I just took his program, right? And it's looking back on it, there was no real form of mentorship. I will speak from my experience. Going through HTC was one of the best decisions of my life. I'll tell you why. Um, why it made sense personally for me. One, it really took a look at my money spending habits, right? Because I was always in the mindset of saving. And I was telling my friend this the other day, where I was just not scared to invest, but you know, it's kind of like when you're on autopilot and you just make buying decisions no matter what. It made me very hyper aware of my relationship with money. I think that's one, right? So that was something that was really I think that's one thing that HTC was really good for. Um and my camera just went out of focus because I just moved it. Anyways, so there's that. Second thing, it introduced me. I don't know what season, like what it's like now or anything like that. I haven't been involved in a community, but when I was in HTC, I met some of my best friends. I met my friend Zach. I met my friend Tom. It connected me to so many people and allowed me to connect with real business owners. Right. I never pitched them for my services, but eventually I got pretty damn good at sales. So, um, you know, I don't think that would have happened if I didn't take something like HTC. Right. because it kind of indoctrinates. Even though I don't use HTC to close, I don't think it's a, not to say it's not an effective closing system. Obviously, it works for Dan Lok, but for myself, like, I don't close that way. Um, I don't close like I don't know. If his position is kind of like, you don't know, you are a dumbass, you poor fuck, or something like that. I don't know. That was really weird, but that's kind of like my opinion about it. And then I think also third thing is like the responsibility that any investor needs to go in with, right? Knowing that there is always a chance that an investment might not work out, and I think a lot of people that he targets when you go mass market aren't qualified to do something like HTC. I mean, something like HTC ended up working for me. The far the few, it actually worked out for me. Actually do sales full time, right? And I enjoy it. It's really, really, really fun. But I also got lucky too because I had real mentorship. It introduced me to real people in the industry who kill it at this profession. It's not only helped my personal, like, help my business life, but it's helped me um in all aspects of life: confidence, the way I speak to people, um and really reframing, communicating value to people as well. So those are my thoughts. I don't think HTC, like, I think there's a real big problem when people think HTC is like the end all be all, like, magic pill solution. It's not, right? It takes a lot of work. It's hard finding your first client. I'm going to be shooting some videos about finding your first client pretty soon as well, because I've been getting tons of questions about how do you find your first client? How do you find your first client? It's really tough, right? The truth is, you got to kiss a lot of frogs. And I was eating shit for almost like 6 months, man, but really building up those relationships as well. So that's kind of what I was into. And for those 6 people who haven't, make sure like that button, like button, bro. NHL says do music plays. I don't know why I asked weird questions. So there's that. But those are, I mean, yeah. But I think sometimes to wrap this Dan Lok stuff up, I'm not reading the other comments as well. But basically, to wrap it up, I mean, I think a lot of those people who got burned with something like HTC as well, really, they had they, whether they realize it or not, they always had a choice to kind of either honor the refund system he was giving them out for sure, because a lot of my friends got them, right? Especially when there was a whole big situation, right? As well. So there's that. Um, and then I think there was this whole thing as well, like, where and like it's not like they hold a gun to your head to buy an upsell or anything like that. I mean, that's completely your choice. I never promoted the upsell, um, like on my channel or anything like that. I didn't think it was really worth it, and that's why I eventually pulled out. There's a reason why I pulled out HTM like 1 month in, right? I left really, really quickly, right? So all that sort of stuff. I went through the whole system, but I think in general it was a really positive experience for me, uh, as well. So let's ask another weird question. Kevin, have you ever experimented with drugs? No, never. Never experimented with drugs. Was never really into drugs. Although I would consider something like, I've been watching a lot of ayahuasca videos, like where that ego dissolving drug. Um, there's this great show, like there's this great thing on Vice. I was telling my friend about it, and it was about Kentucky. It's called Kentucky ayahuasca. The Southern man, he is a shaman and runs these ayahuasca rituals. Really, really interesting stuff. So, um, there's that. So, uh, well, whatever you do, don't look at fanfics. Oh my god, I'm going to end up clicking that. But in terms of drugs, no, never was into drugs, never drank or anything like that as well. But I would consider um all that as well. Um, do you have any productivity apps on your phone or any entertaining apps that you use every day that you recommend? There's actually a few. And it depends. Like, when you say productivity, do you mean like project management type of apps where I manage all my products? I'm not the most organized person in the world, by the way. So, but I am a tool junkie. Like, I love researching tools. I love trying out new tools and incorporating in the system. But are we talking more about for relationships, for business? There's a lot of different apps out there, but maybe I will think about this question and do a proper video. Some of my favorite tools right now, like I said, I love Airtable. It's one of the best ones by far. I use it as a task manager for my I'm starting to use it as a task manager to do my SEO tags and all that. It's a pretty much all inclusive like CRM, like for everything. So, or a way to manage my projects as well. So that's one great one, but it depends what you need. What are you trying to do, Alequin? What's your take on investing in S&P 500 long run? Do you invest in stocks or cryptocurrencies? So my take on investing on S&P 500 is good for most people. Everybody should have some S&P 500. Long run will always work out. Warren Buffett loves it. Based off the history, right? There's no certain way. Obviously, there's no way I can promise that there's going to be positive returns, but it's like, think about it like this. Let's pull up the S&P 500 rather than just talk about it. Let's take a look at it really quick. Uh, let's see. S&P 500. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, right? And let's take a look at the max. And let me shrink this really quick. So we're here. All right. So yeah, we're hitting a pretty significant down. Like it's fallen about 10%. That's like, yeah, quite a bit setback, right? Not as big in the 2007 to 2008, but take a look at it like this. It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, 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 up. This is the longest bull run that most people are talking about, right? But think about it like this: if you invested since the inception of the S&P 500 since the 80s, you would have been up 27,000, 2,700%, right? So I think that's significant, right? And what do you think is going to happen? Most likely, it's going to keep on going up as well. So that's my opinion. There's no way that I know as well. And I think it's important to invest in it because business will always be here. The big top 500 companies will always be here, in my opinion. I don't see them going anywhere. They pretty much run our freaking country at this point, right? And investing in stocks, really profitable, really great. But you're introducing higher level of risk to yourself, which is okay if you're aware of that risk, right? Same with cryptocurrencies. I think there's a real value of cryptocurrencies. I have a feeling that they're going to do super, super well. I don't invest anymore in cryptocurrencies and all that because guess what? It's not very tax friendly as a business owner, right? So been investing more into gear, been investing more into things I need for my business as well, and just increasing my into services as well. So that's kind of like my take on everything as well. Good discount on stock market about to happen. Yeah, it's a really good time to buy at the moment. You can make a really serious flip. But here's the thing: we don't know when exactly it's going to shoot up again. So that's something important to keep in mind. No, says NHL player. A lot of people have been saying there's going to be drops in the stock market because of the virus, especially airlines, but their stocks haven't been too high in the past. Yeah, but we're due for a correction, or I wouldn't be surprised if we enter recession as well. We've been being warned since last year. My brokerage company called me and told me about it. And I think it's definitely started because of the virus as well, because a lot of people manufacture from China and get their products shipped from China, which will eventually impact sales as well. So it's really rough. It's really rough with the whole virus thing, but yeah, um, like that's probably a huge reason why the market tanked as well. Alequin, stocks are already downward trending. Could be a great time to buy. I'm actually upward trending in my current picks. That's awesome. I would invest, but I'm too young. I wouldn't say too young. Um, don't ever use that as a excuse. By the way, it's not a real excuse, man. Like, or it's not a real reason, right? Maybe the uneducated part, but still, if you don't know what to do, Alequin, if you want to invest right today, what you want to do, go somewhere like Fidelity or Vanguard. I'll show you both right now, right? Let's open it up. So let's go Vanguard. I hope it doesn't open up my personal information. Let me check first before I do anything. I don't think I checked my stocks in a little bit. But really, just go. Okay, so yeah, let me just go into Google Vanguard. So this is all you need to do. Eloquent, really simple. And if you don't know, go to Kickass Investing because that's my investing page. So if you go to www.kickassinvesting.com/YouTube. That's a short link to my YouTube channel. Check that out. Eloquent. That should help you out. I have a lot of videos about it, or not a lot, but I have a few. And I have a few on this channel too. Just go Vanguard. Just go log on to Vanguard, create an account. But even better, I think Fidelity is kicking ass right now. So even go to Fidelity, open an account, and just if you don't know what to do, man, just you can always change it later. But just open up like Fidelity's Freedom Funds. I think that's the best way to start. And if you're really young, you can dump it all into S&P 500 with Fidelity's funds. But take a look at those, right? These are really great, especially for retirement and all that, if that's the main goal. And it should be for, if you're looking at something like S&P 500, you're not going to get rich overnight as well. So I think that's something important to consider. Okay. So Eloquent, that's pretty much how you do it. And if you trust me, if you can figure out how to freaking buy on Amazon, then you can buy on Vanguard as well. So if you have any questions, Eloquent, just reach out to me directly, bro. Okay. Dr. Lee says, Eloquent, you're never too long. Shout out to Dr. Lee, by the way. I saw a few of your videos about being a pharmacist being really hard. That's really great. I always encourage people to create more content about pharmacy and not warn people about it, but just tell the truth about it because there's a lot of fluff out there. So there's that. You anyways, Dr. Lee says, you're never too young. Get an education, bro. Talk to me or anyone. There are groups. Just network and start the right conversations. Hey, Peter. Great, you passed it. Radical honesty. Yeah. So I actually love this book. This is one of my favorite investment books by Remy Sethi. It really changed my life and broke everything down. And if you need help starting your Roth IRA, look over here. And also I have a free course too. So just go to kickassinvesting.com. Just sign up and you don't even have to buy anything. Just set up your Roth IRA. So yeah, man. Let's see. Kevin, why are people panic buying bottled water due to virus? The virus won't stop water lines. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you missed I think you missed Armored Ghost. You missed the beginning of the stream. That's what I was saying. I was like, people are stocking up on two things: freaking toilet paper and freaking water. I'm just like, why? Right? Like, why? Maybe they're scared that somebody will release it into the water system or something like that, or I don't know. It's weird, man. It's not like we're going through war right now, like or maybe people will say, oh, it's a biological weapon and whatnot, right? You'll read the those stories and stuff. But on more serious note, I don't think buying bottled water is going to help anyone. I think staying at home would probably be better. I don't stay at home, by the way. I mean, here's the thing: I do what the fuck I want, and I don't think there's any reason. Like, I'm young population. I don't think, like, even if I do get it, I don't think I'm gonna die or anything like that. But you know, I think like life is way too short to be scared about certain viruses. I mean, people will die more from the flu than something like corona, but it's really, really interesting. Eloquent says, I'll look into it. Sutton says, sup, bro? Hope you're doing well. Dr. Lee says, thanks, Kevin. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. And for those 4 people who haven't, appreciate you being here, but I also appreciate you smashing that like button, bro. So that'd be really cool. Yeah, so I guess, like, right now, what was really interesting, actually, when I first saw the coronavirus stories, I don't know what, I never really sell that often. And when I do, it's either 2 situations where I'm just like, damn, I need more money or something like that. I need to figure out a way to I need to liquidate some of my stocks, or B, uh, it's like I always hold it for a long run. That's my primary focus, right? Um, especially, and the first option was only when I was first starting to close and stuff like that, where I would be like, fuck, I need more money and stuff like that. I'm running out. And that's what it's for. It's there. You put these assets in place so that you can actually use them, because money is just pieces of paper. And when you invest in your business or anything like that, it'd be great, right? Uh, the 200 Kevin motto. Whatever. I do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, I'm not. I think that's the worst thing, is that living in fear, living like make. I mean, I'm not out there trying to get coronavirus or anything like that, but I know it makes me happy in life, and I know things like doing jujitsu, doing going like into an Asian grocery store to buy some H Mart shit. Those are some things I actually like that make me happy. And if you're not happy with your life, or if you're not working toward a happy life, and you're living in like slavery, it's not worth it, you know. And I don't know, maybe I've had kind of a taste of like the forbidden fruit within like business, where like in pharmacy, I don't care how much I got paid. I don't care how much I get paid. I'm gonna figure this shit out until I die, man. And it's just like, I made it this far. Like, I don't ever think about going back to pharmacy ever, because I make more money than I do um, in like with my closing agency and all that, than I do with pharmacy. It's more scalable, and I feel fulfilled, and I can work wherever I want. I don't have to ask people, I want to go here. Well, right now there's that whole coronavirus thing, so I'm not really traveling that much, but I wouldn't be traveling anyways. What I'm saying is, I really love my life right now, and I haven't been this happy in a long time. So yeah. um let's see. I'm in NYC. The virus could spread easily on the trains. Adriana, what's going on? Hey, I just want to give a huge shout out to Adriana too. She's been creating a lot of great content, um really filling in that need for like female voice with on YouTube. You know, I've talked to a lot of people on this platform, and Dr. Lee and Adriana, I think you guys can really carry the torch on with pharmacy. Like for myself, not to say I don't have the passion to really talk about pharmacy. There's certain issues I do want to talk about that feel very dear to me. But these days, I mean, I'm barely even. No, not so funny. I was actually, no, it's really funny. I was actually going to do like a precept kind of precept that event, but you know, I'm glad to see YouTube just really killing it at YouTube. So just want to give that shout out there. Eloquent says, or Armor Ghost says, the virus spreads easily anyway because of people. They're everywhere. Yeah, and I know there's that whole like xenophobic, like racist, like type of uh, remarks about Asian people and all that sort of stuff. But man, it's just like, well, well, I don't know, but like, you know how the Chinese government is. They don't really like want to. They kept it under wraps for a long time, but that doesn't mean like every single Asian person has like coronavirus. I was watching like different videos about racist remarks and all that sort of stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, let people believe what they freaking want to, man. If they want to look like dumb, then that's up to them. But it's pretty, it's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy, especially being Asian myself, man. So, at Adriana at Adriana Shardy, I know your content. It's so good seeing you. I'm a fan. You popped up in my YouTube feed. That's great. Great stuff, guys. Being able to connect and stuff on YouTube. And I'll tell you guys this, like, you know, I take a look at my life. I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting about like the best decisions I ever made and whatnot. One of them was actually doing this YouTube channel, even though it was probably one of the reasons, the major reason what got me let go. And by the way, here's a major tip: if you guys are on YouTube and you are a pharmacist or anything like that, be super careful, because they can fire you for misconduct, right? Even if you do nothing wrong. It happened to one of my really good friends recently. I'm not gonna say who, obviously, right? Because none of our business. But I do want to heed that warning, where it's like, dude, just be careful about doing YouTube. because there's a like that's how I was let go. That's how my friend was let go. Um, and it's a it's a very you just be aware of that. And if you have so FYI. And what's crazy about my friend was that he was creating content. He was creating content, and they knew about his channel for a long time, but they just changed managers, and wasn't a big fan, and gone. Crazy, right? Freaking crazy. So, what are your goals right now? Says Jonathan Lee. Are you pursuing QLA on healthcare, or are you postponing that for later as you want to build your personal brand? I actually want to build my personal brand. So I, for your FYI, so just to kind of give you an update about QLA, QLA is not a part-time thing. It's either something that I think everybody should really know about this. It's really a full-time thing. So when I was doing research about the market and stuff like that, we all know that pharmacies getting eaten alive with DI DIR fees, clawbacks, all that sort of stuff. So it was really interesting because it taught me a lot about the pharmacy market. I mean, I think back in 2013, 2010, around that, it was in a certain consulting paper, but they're saying that, or maybe one the NCPA uh, articles or something. It was like about 20%. It's been declining about 1.5% every single year due to these a lot of these insurance companies and all these sort of things, just eating into profit margins. And so one of the things that you want to look at is the market fragmented, right? Interesting stuff. Chain pharmacy controls 70% of the pharmacy industry right now, of the outlook, right? So there's that. So it's not highly fragmented. Second thing, the the profit margins aren't super high as well. So I was looking at this and I was like, do I really want to go into another industry and do something like this, like at this point in time? Not really, to be honest with you. So I decided to. I told Dan this too, man. I thought he was gonna yell at my ass and shit. I was like, I don't want to do this, man. I want to focus on my personal brand. Take what Brian Rose and Dan Locke got out of everything and just apply those concepts that we learned in QLA to our own business, right? And so I really was really interesting was that um what's really interesting was that after that whole QLA thing, it's really helped me speak more intelligently about business and how businesses go public and all that as well. What it actually takes to bring a business from how to buy out a business and LBOs and all that sort of stuff. It was really great stuff. I highly recommend anyone who's. It's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely not for everyone, but QLA is like a numbers game too. I was telling my other friend that you're picking up the phone a lot of time, and you got a cold call. You're gonna get your face slammed. People are gonna tell you I don't believe in you, but you have to have the persistence to go on as well. So really, for me, uh, I didn't want to be working back in a pharmacy again, right? Or dealing with all those pharmacy metrics, managing people. It's hard work, man. And I'm not scared of hard work, but it's just how I really want to use my skills, right? So that's the number one thing. Um, NHL says, "Do you know any animators?" I do know a few animators, as well. Stetson says, "Corporate cringe." Yeah, I guess it's like you can see it as unfair. I know that they're trying to protect their brand and stuff, but I mean, when you have things like misconduct and conduct and very subjective type of things, it's easy to get fired. I mean, that's the case for anything, right? So, yeah, it's not the best. You know, do you know YouTubers that break the fourth wall? Not particularly. I don't know any. I don't really know. That's the only thing that they do. All right, guys. Let's type in the last few questions. I actually have a friend over here, so I'm going to probably eat sometime and just like wrap this up. But any last questions or anything like that, make sure to leave that in. And why don't I show you some of my like uh well, no, it's a little early. I was going to show you actually my dashboard. I think you guys would really like, but I'm trying to put the final touches on it before I show anything. I was working not the YouTube stuff because I don't think you guys would really care about that, but I really want to show you kind of like the dashboard for life of like all the things I need to do the Kanban method and all that, and how Airtable is like one of the most best tools for it. It's by far, I haven't been this excited since like first saw Asana, but it's even better than Asana. Airtable is so much better than Asana, and you actually control the data. So I'm actually in the middle of converting from SurveyMonkey into Airtable at the moment because I can analyze the data as well. Really great stuff. Really great stuff. So you're saying social presence on social media can get you fired? Is that just for being present in general, or because of speaking about your profession? Um, I think it's about. I think a little bit of both too, right? Um, because their argument will always be, oh, people are always going to wonder where this person works, right? And if they find out and you do something, you say something, you're representing a company, which I don't believe is true. I think that's where the false logic is. But I understand because most people, they'll, I don't know what, like dumb people, right? Um, they'll say that because of your actions, you're representing the company and stuff like that as well. This is more so you'll see it happen in I guess Hollywood type of things, or like media outlets. Like if somebody has a certain opinion, they sometimes get fired and whatnot about that as well. Um, but here's the thing: just because someone like works at uh like I don't know, just because someone works somewhere doesn't mean that they represent the opinion. I feel like it's very like apparent, right? Like you don't represent your company when you're talking, when you're expressing your ideas and stuff like that. But unfortunately, there's no. I mean, even though you cannot get arrested or thrown in jail for your thoughts, definitely that's where corporations can kind of put a hold on you and stuff like that, or have control over you. That's why you don't see a lot of. It's more difficult. Like, and that's something I always warn people to when they're thinking about doing something like YouTube. It's just like, hey, it's great that you want to do a YouTube channel. I always recommend people do it. It's one of the best decisions in my life, but there is a cost. There can be a cost for doing this too, right? And if you don't do it the right way, then you could lose your job over it too. So, how long have you been doing YouTube as an initial player? Been doing it for the last like 5 6 years, on and off for the most part. So that's kind of like my story. I lived with a lot of YouTubers, um, who were creating a lot of different content, and that's how I kind of fell into this, man. I also always want to be like an early YouTuber, like back in the day. I feel like that's still an unfulfilled dream that I have. But the more I look at the landscape of 2020, you definitely have to go niche, right? It's how the algorithm works. Um, and but it's never too late to go not virality. I don't care about virality, to be honest with you, right? Obviously it's nice to be known for certain things, but you can be a celebrity within your own niche market, right? I guarantee if you ask a lot of pharmacists about who I am, pretty much know who I am or know about me. Most people, at least, right? Maybe the next generation, maybe the OG generation doesn't know jack shit, so that's cool. But it's just interesting stuff as well. Your internet presence gets you fired if it offends someone who has power over you. Um, and Jonathan says, yeah, it's like this is the corporate politics. I don't really like Armor Ghosts. Like I'm pretty sure you have a really good idea. Is that this is kind of like the world we live in, and at the end of the day, they like corporate can always find a way to get you terminated or something. If somebody doesn't like you, then it can always get you terminated, right? But hey, I mean, I don't think I did anything crazy on my YouTube channel in the last X amount of years on my YouTube channel. I don't think I did anything crazy. um I don't think I did anything wild, right? Especially as I'm older now, I don't see myself doing like, oh, I'm gonna do pranks or I'm gonna pick up girls on on campus or anything like that. You don't see me doing that, and I probably will never do that, right? But you know, it's pretty ridiculous, man. Like in my opinion, at least. But maybe some other people would beg to differ as well, right? So cool. Awesome. So I'm pretty much all set. I'm not out of breath, but want to spend some time with my friend who's staying over. So, anyways, um, tune in this week. Gonna have some content. or if I actually click the upload button. I gotta force myself to, so I will do it. I'll start videos tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday, and create more content throughout the next week as well. So I'm committing to it. If I don't, I'll donate something to like George Bush or KKK association, whatever. It's not gonna happen. So let's I'll upload those videos for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.